As we move on in Chapter 12, we're going to talk about frequency and histograms. We're going to move straight into problem 1, and we're going to talk about this item called a frequency table. Now, something I need to note to you about a frequency table is that a frequency table uses intervals. Now let's go ahead and make a frequency table. The numbers of home runs by the batters in a local run derby are listed below. What is a frequency table that represents this data? So take a look at all the numbers of home runs, okay? I hope that you notice that the minimum, or the smallest, the minimum is 2, and I also hope that you notice that the max is 17. Now, we need to think of a good interval for this. Since it goes from 2 all the way up to 17, I think that an interval of 4 would be pretty acceptable. So let's start at 2. Okay, so home run results. This one here is going to be the number of home runs. And this side is going to be the frequency. And this item right here, this is a frequency table. Now let's talk about our intervals. Be careful. I said that intervals of 4 would be acceptable from 2 to 17. 2 to 17 is actually 16 items. Because we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Now a lot of people don't understand that. They think 17 minus 2, there's 15 different items. But no guys, there's 16 different items because you have to actually include the 2. So by saying that there are 16 different items, I'm going to break them up into groups of 4. Alright, here we go. So this first one's going to be any home runs from 2 to 5. And again, that's intervals of 4 because we have 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 4 items. The next one will be 6 to 9. 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 4 items. Then 10 to 13, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's 4 items. And 14 through 17 is another 4 items. 14, 15, 16, 17. How many times do you have a home run between 2 and 5? Well, count them up. You should end up getting 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 times that happens. How many times does 6 to 9 happen? 1, 2, 3, 4. That also happens 4 times. How many times does 10 to 13 happen? 1, 2. Oh, there should be 3. Let me find the third one. There should be 3. 1, 2, 3. My bad. 1, 2, 3. 10 to 13. And now 14 to 17. 1, 2, 3. So what the frequency table does is it breaks it up into intervals and it says how many times does that interval occur. Okay, so this side is the intervals. This time is the number it occurs. Now, on the got it, we want to do this one more time, but this time I'd ask you to please pause the video and I want you to try to think of what a good interval would be. You have to find the smallest. I see that the min is 2. You have to find the biggest. I see the max is 17. And this time, they want us to use intervals of 5. So they actually told us the number of the intervals that they want us to do. I apologize. They want us to do intervals of 5. So we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to break it up, and it's going to look a little different. Home runs, frequency. Now, what is an interval of 5 from 2? 2 up to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now go 7, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now go from 12, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. But I have to keep going because the maximum is 17. So I actually have to do 17 up through 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. All right, so this frequency table, while it shows the same data that it did before, this time the frequency chart is in intervals of 5, so it's going to look different. How many times does 2 to 6 happen? Count them up. You should get 4. How many times does 7 to 11 happen? Count them up. You should get 5. How many times does 12 to 16 happen? 4. How many times does 17 to 21 happen? Once. So this frequency table is actually the exact same data, but you can see how it's a different frequency table because we chose to use different intervals. All right, problem 2, making a histogram. Now, histograms come from frequency tables. So you have to make a frequency table in order to get a nice histogram. The data below are the numbers of hours per week that a group of students spent watching TV. What is a histogram that represents this data? So here they are. These are all the hours. Holy cow, 22. Look at all of these. These are the hours that the students spent watching TV. So what you need to do is find how many times did 0 to 5 hours happen. Count them up. You should get 6. It happened 6 times. 0 to 5 happened 6 times. 6 to 11. 5 hours. 12 to 17. Or excuse me, 5 students. 12 to 17. There's 3 students. And 18 through 23, there's just 1 student who did that high. And that's probably the student who's not doing too well in school. Anyway, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take our frequency chart and we're going to, our frequency table, and we're going to make a histogram out of it. So again, this is called the frequency table. You use that to make your histogram. Do you remember from middle school what a histogram looks like? The bars should touch. That's pretty much it. So get a ruler or something, or if you don't care about what it looks like. I like to make my lines nice and straight, so I'm going to use a popsicle stick. 0 to 5 happens 6 times. So, and you want to try to make these all the same width. So there's my 0 to 5 bars, almost like a bar chart, except they touch and they're on frequency instead. 6 to 11 happens 5 times. It's right in the middle. I always encourage people to put the numbers on top of it as well. That helps you to see. 12 to 17 happens 3 times. And 18 to 23 only happens once. There you go. That's exactly how you make a histogram.